So I'm getting a feeling from my two players at this table. I was just sitting here minding my own business, and then I look up, looking up, and Sydney looks like someone who wants to murder me with her two middle fingers pointed at me.
Okay, to be fair, I was trying to ask you if my finger looked broken because I was comparing my two fingers.
Oh, and they just happen to be the middle fingers.
And they happen to be. I think I might have sprained.
The one that has been in the cast all day does look fucked.
Okay.
Just to be very clear.
Oh shit, yeah, it's double the size.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it necessarily looks broken, but I also don't know if it, twisted so far to the left before you did whatever you did to it.
It does look quite twisted to the left, doesn't it?
I think you might need to go to the hospital.
Well, she can bend it. It's fine, guys.
I'll never play piano again. It's fine.
I was going to say you have beautiful fingers.
You're a gamer. How are you going to get your dexterity back? Oh.
These are my money. My hands are my money.
Have you insured them?
Fuck, no. It's too late now. All right, hold on. So let's answer the question. Are any of you guys mad at me?
No.
Thank God.
I'm the one who's having a good moment thinking about my car that I might be getting. Did you know that?
Wow.
I knew that.
Podcasting makes you rich? I never knew.
No,
Ellie, I didn't realize you were loaded.
We're inheriting, we're being given a car from
Got it.
Family member.
A 12-year-old car.
Yeah.
From a 12-year-old
period. Yeah, I met this 12-year-old boy across the street.
He's giving us a car.
Yep.
Nice kid.
It's New York. Kid. It's New York after all. This is what I pictured in New York to always be, like 12-year-old kids selling cars on the street.
Such a weirdly specific and nonsensical way to perceive this city.
And they would wear those Newsies caps.
No. Would you like a Pape and a Nissan?
That's New York for you.
Check my cigar.
You
Why are they British?
Want me to sweep your chimney? Also, do you want this Cadillac? It's free.
Oh,
this Kia Sorento.
But as I was saying, I was thinking about that cool thing, and then how the hell should we deal with parking in Astoria? But then I looked up, and
is that what happens when we speak? You just think about cars?
Yeah, we did that twice.
Ellie's prepping for the game, and she's like, "All right, gonna play some Vass, and man, I can't wait to get that car."
But
thinking about that
guys,
car.
Think about Sydney has a car, by the way. Mrs. Loaded.
It's a smart car. They're not that expensive.
It's so tiny.
I don't have a driver's license.
Woo!
So I don't have a car.
Yeah.
But I spend money on things for my studio to record my face on the internet.
I also love how we're like, we have a car, we're rich. It's like a car is kind of like a necessity for some people. It doesn't mean you're rich. It means you need a car.
That's the most New York thing ever.
Yeah.
That's the and that's the tea.
And that's the tea. Speaking of tea, let's play some Vassar.
Time for tea and fika. My favorite time of day.
Oh, yes.
So we're not going to talk about the way the world is for our 100-year-old relations for 20 minutes. Got it.
Okay, wait. So we left off on the cliffhanger of a riddle.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, I would love to hear this.
I need to say something. When we finished recording...
Shut up.
When we finished recording last week...
Shut your mouth.
We finished recording. We were like, oh, wow, that riddle, blah, blah, blah. Anne was like talking about something. I was on my phone.
Well, I was carefully inscribing the riddle with a pencil on a piece of actual paper.
Anne wrote down like the riddle and was like, she was like thinking through it.
And I was faintly just echoing the words of the riddle.
Yeah. And I was uploading the thing, and I heard Anne being like, fuck, I hate riddles. Fuck, I will never figure this out.
And she's like, a 5-letter word gets shorter when you add 2 letters.
So imagine my gentle tones, which have never been harsh, fading into the background. Meanwhile, Sydney, scrolling TikTok. Take it away, Sydney.
I'm on my phone. I'm on Twitter. I'm looking at TikToks, and I just go, short's a 5-letter word, SHORT. I did count on my fingers. And I said, if you add ER, then it just becomes a word shorter. And Anne looks up and looks at me. And then you hear Ellie from the back room go, yep, that's it. And Anne goes, what? And I'm like, wait, Ellie, are you serious? Was that the actual answer? And Ellie's like, yeah, you got it. I was like, what the fuck? And Anne was like, I'm so mad right now.
I'm so mad because it made a mockery of like my careful attention that I gave it.
And you know what's amazing? So true to character. Like I love like in the moment, Astrid like pulls out books, takes out a map, and she's like, maybe it's a place, like if it gets shorter, the distance. And Henrik like does some snuff and is like, if you just spell it out, I think maybe it could be the word shorter. I think. Hold on, let me count. And he recounts. He's like, that's 5 letters. Yeah. Okay. What you think?
And Horn says, yes, that's correct. And then he gives you the jewelry box.
The things that are down here, before we leave you, they should stay down here, yes?
What things? Specifically?
There were some books.
Oh, no. Those. No, this is just storage. Technically, we don't need any of this. You can do whatever you want with it.
Horn. Do you have any other items of Fransibolds that you keep down here, or is there more to be released to us at a later point in time?
Nope. I have had no such instructions, but if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
You wouldn't tell us because Fransibold asked you not to. No, that makes sense.
Let me ask you this. Did Franz ever bring down any stones that you know of?
Stones? And he's looking around him. This whole room's covered with like bricks and stones, and he's like,
jewels.
Jewels. No jewels.
Green jewels specifically.
Nope, no such things.
But if you did know, you wouldn't tell us.
If I did know, perhaps I would have told you if I had been instructed to do so.
Okay.
But no, I can also safely say that no gemstones.
Okay.
As the lady of the house here, I am glad to have made your acquaintance, and I'll make sure that you're seen to in the traditional ways.
Thank you, and I will see more of you at breakfast tomorrow. I will be waving like I always do every day. And now I know why you haven't said hi back, because you didn't know my name.
That's certainly why we didn't say hi back, Horn, and now we know your name.
Where do you like to sit?
I sit next to you in the chair. He's probably
in the wall, like.
Yeah, he's probably like just hanging out, and he probably melts into the environment. But like, you might have just not paid attention to him.
Right now, we have to greet Horn every day at breakfast. Great, awesome. All right,
but also, please don't hate my husband. He can't see you.
He's one of those. All right, I'll do my best.
Yeah.
Well,
this was great.
Yeah, goodbye. We're going to go now and leave you in your little hidey hole.
I'm going to bring the flail with us, but I'm going to leave the 2 books.
I'm going to take the books.
You're going to take the books?
Yeah. Yeah, Henrik lifts up the books and he goes, Astrid, I'm shocked that you're reaching for a weapon and not for a book once.
Well, I that one very specifically said not to read it. I mean, the other one I think we should read.
Astrid, if you saw a sign on a door that said do not enter, what's the first thing you want to do?
No, I know, but I know. Okay, all right. Now,
come on.
No. Leave that devil speak book down here.
I'm taking it upstairs, Astrid.
No, this is how you never read the Latin. Why does no one listen to me?
Come on, Astrid.
Please don't read that. Oh, God. It's scary down here. I don't want to be down here in the dark.
You better follow
me. I'm coming.
Yeah, the dog is like going with Henrik. It's like,
no, you bastard.
You better run, Astrid.
No, please. Okay.
I'm gonna close the door.
I think I hear someone. It's you. No, it was just you the whole time. I'm fine. Yeah, she goes around this corner. Jump scares. Very point of commonality between Astrid and myself. The veil is so very thin there.
Yes, so you get upstairs. You have the jewelry box and the 2 books and the self-flagellation tool. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to look at the jewelry box, see if we can open it up.
There.
Horn is suddenly present with you as well. He came with you.
Horn, Jesus. Hello.
I thought we said see in your hidey hole and you came up.
Right, but I need to tend to the fireplace, and so he starts tending to the fireplace. So and now you realize like it's like one of those movie situations where you're like there's a flashback and all of a sudden you see the person
everywhere and they're all over the house doing everything.
So with the jewelry box, you can open it. It doesn't require any cool skills to do that. But you open it. You find a small little Vetir child in there.
Oh my God!
And he looks caught, but also offended that you caught him. You know that look
like
scandalized. Yeah.
Hey, why don't you get on out of there?
Yeah. Oh no, Nobby, not again! I've told you not to play in there.
Nobby. Okay. I love Nobby.
Nobby
is my new favorite character. We're gonna make shirts.
Praise Nobby.
And the little Vetir is like he scurries off. However, he was chewing on papers and like basically all the contents are covered in his saliva and poop, and like Horn comes back. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Hopefully nothing got ruined.
Horn.
And he sees the entire content. He's like, ooh,
Is this unreadable now?
I'm sure some of it is fine. Horn. He picks up and it just like mush.
Horn, tell me that you've read what's in here.
I can't read. Anyway, I'll be downstairs if you need me. And he hurries off. You can probably scrap together some pieces.
Yeah. Okay, what can we scrap together?
Yeah, you go through it for a couple of hours. This takes a while.
So we put a clothesline in front of the fire.
Yeah.
And we carefully hang every page up to dry.
Perfect. And what you see after a couple of hours of trying to piece things together, there's clearly been some correspondence happening with an American woman named Abigail Johnson. And the most complete letter says, Francibold, thank you for the fragments you've sent me. There seem to be ways to activate the stones and their strange properties, but I need more time to figure out their patterns. The animal studies have been confusing at best, but can you send me more samples? And then there are lists of notes, as if she conducted an experiment. And one of the notes that seemed to be most interesting and readable says, time, 3 a.m., moon phase, full. Rats are reacting with panic after being quiet most other nights. Full moon? ? When active, the stone starts radiating, and then it cuts off, and you can't read the rest of the letter. And then there's some scribbles from Francibold in his journal, and a lot of his just dumb details that no one cares about.
This is a Yelp review.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like, the stones reminds me of a summer day. And then you find something that looks newer. But unfortunately, only the last piece is left. And it says, Astrid, you must close it and prevent anyone from accessing it once and for all. It is going to be dangerous, and I would encourage you to bring Henrik if the boy has finally come to his senses and accepted his fate. Please be careful. No one must know. There doesn't seem to be much else in this jewelry box of Francibold for now.
Close it.
You have the 2 books as well, like I said, The Words of Satan is the first one. And if you do some research on it outside, you know that this is a confusing collection of essays, poems, and songs penned by a Finnish Satanist cult. And then Francibold, you can, like, if you turn over the note that says, don't read this, it said, I have reasons to believe that if a person reads this text, he gains tremendous riches, but also an altered personality. Do not read. And so he seems to think that it's a dangerous book to read.
No.
I might.
I like you just the way you are.
Who knows? Maybe I'd be better if I read it. Maybe I'd gain more charm, or I'd be smarter. I'm just saying, who knows? I'm not going to read it, Astrid. I'm not going to.
It's already too late.
Who knows? Oh, no, the book's talking to me.
Give me the book.
The book is telling me to read it. I must. Henrik. It's whispering my name.
Henrik, stop it.
All right, well, I'll read the other one.
All right, fine. That one doesn't have a note in it. Go right the fuck ahead. I don't care.
Yeah, The Dog Surrounds Me by Morten Christensen. You know about Morten Christensen that he used to be a national antiquarian. I can't even say
Antiquarian.
Antiquarian in Copenhagen. But he abandoned his position and his family several years ago, and claims to have gathered a group of like-minded people in a remote village in the northern Norway. But the book includes detailed instructions how to lure, bind, and control Vaesen. And so it's a very good book to However, it's 1,000 pages long book. It's all written in Danish, even though both of you speak Swedish, so you could probably read Danish, but it's not as...
It's going to take us a long time.
Yeah, but you might want to like bring this with you on your
we
travels.
Can read it.
If
you
try. Exactly.
And sorry, it teaches us to bind Vaesen.
Yeah, if that's something you want
to lure and bind them.
Seems to. It has a page on Vetir, that you should treat them with kindness.
So clearly, Francibold was doing his own research on the stone. I think we can confirm that the stone he had is the same that Sigrid had, and that there's some sort of magical essence ability you can access. Not sure what the whole full moon at night part was. What's your take on it?
When I saw the stone in the machine, it was drained. It was something, and the act of using it used it up. If I had to hazard a guess, I should think there is some kind of portal or door binding something in, that now as these items of power are collected and removed from their natural state and used, whatever magic held that place together in whatever way Franz wanted it to be, not that he did it, but understood it to be and thought was best for it, is now being weakened by these things being taken and used in this way. I think maybe he wants us to close the mind, but it could be more metaphysical than that.
That was my thought too. Just thinking back to what we went through before. Once we resolved the child, then it ended the magic that was happening. So if there's a source to the stones, if the source is the accident at the mine, the crater.
And when you say the child, she reminds you and says, Matilda.
Right. Matilda. Do you think it'd be any good to go to the asylum, see if we can talk to that young boy, see if he can talk at all?
I think if we want to compare these notes about these creatures and whatever this woman was doing with the stones, with them or to them, I think knowing how a human is, going silent and then panicking, he could have just been in the silent phase.
I also want to see how many subjects Sigrid might have sent to the asylum. How many came from her and what state they're all in. I think I could use my background as a private detective to get us in there.
Do you think Franz would respond if I called out?
Oh.
There is so much missing here, and I might be able to pull some of those missing pieces together.
Astrid, no offense, that's your business. If you want to do that, I'll be here, but I don't feel particularly comfortable reaching out into the dead.
It's not a comfortable activity. It's just a method. It's just like a magnifying glass.
I suppose we could try. We're in a home filled of Franz's things. Might be a good connection.
I think so.
All right.
So she's going to get out her book now. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go ahead and, try not to... Because, it's not like we're going to go now to the asylum. So if for 6 hours I get screwed over by my automatic writing, then this is probably fine.
Go ahead.
Roll your die.
Do it. So 5 altogether to roll. Here I go. Well, we should talk about failure.
Oh no!
Because I didn't get any successes.
Oh shit! No. So you take a broken condition, or
on a failure, I gain a condition for D6 hours. So you can decide. Well, I guess it would be mental. Yes. So I would be angry.
Oh,
and that makes sense. So, what does angry do to me mechanically?
You get a -1 modifier to skill test for that type of action.
Okay. So for inspiration.
Well, so for that type of action, so all mental skills checks gets a -1.
Okay. So she begins to write, and she begins writing and pushing herself to reach out, and she is sort of murmuring almost in tongues. Franz, can you hear me? We're waiting for you. We need you. We've always needed you to help us. No more riddles, Franz. Like, just kind of like whatever stream of consciousness is coming through her. And weirdly, the words start to overlap each other. So it's as if like her voice is multiplying. Whoa. And then it just goes and then starts to like stop. So she'll take in a breath and nothing has happened. And she goes in again and tries again, but it's just not having the same effect. And it slowly becomes apparent that like whatever magic, whatever force propels this ability is meeting with something else. It's just nothing. You know, she's taken up space this entire time. She's the lady of the house. It's been a long night, and this living room is now impossibly huge, and she's just like a small young woman who's been left with all of this responsibility, and she just looks up at you like wiping tears out of her eyes, and she just says, I just don't understand why he wouldn't respond.
And when you throw the book, I think Henrik like hurries over, worried that maybe you're being like possessed, you know, something bad. And when he sees you and you say that, he kneels down next to you and he puts his hand on your back. And he just says, Astrid, you tried. It's okay.
What if we can't put it together? What if we put it together wrong and then we unleash something terrible? They all died, Henrik. Everyone who was a part of this is gone. We are a poor excuse for a fucking legacy. And we can't even tell anyone.
Astrid, we are doing our damned best. Francipold left us with nothing, with clues, with scraps. And we are doing our damned best, and you are doing your damned best. So don't you dare say that it is our fault that those people died. Never say that again.
Well, it's not our fault. It's just our responsibility to carry it on.
Aye, and it shouldn't be. But it is. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you want to go smash stuff?
Yes, I do.
There's a lot of plates in the china cabinet that I've looked at, and I've wanted to smash them every time I saw them. They're ugly, and I hate them.
They're just so perfect, and they should be normal.
Let's smash them.
Yeah, let's smash them. She's so mad. She's so mad. She goes into the china cabinet.
There's like so many china cabinets too. She goes like, this does not matter.
Yeah. She goes, these ones with the yellow flowers.
I hate them. Let's destroy them.
She takes a full stack and then out the back door into the yard and just takes one and hurls it like a discus.
I think Alget walks in. You're in the backyard. Henrik lets you go. I think Alget walks in. He goes, Alget, I just want to say I really like these plates. But in the moment, I told Astrid to smash them because she's having a very hard time.
Without a word, he just looks at it, and then when you guys are done, he just starts cleaning it up.
Poor Alget.
Never refers to it ever again.
Yeah.
But something inside of him is just dying. it's breaking. Broken. Yeah. And not necessarily because like of heartbreak, but more like
sure, I'll clean this up too.
Who fucking smashes?
Yeah, and exhausted. Like he's like, these new people. I mean, they've been there for 3 years, but he's just like, cool.
It's never just going to normalize. It's always going to be this freaking weird.
But he's also polite enough to never bring it up because he knows. I think honestly, the thought has probably occurred to him as well. Like he has no way of getting an outlet for his grief and everything, and so the thought has occurred to him. So I think a part of him is like he understands, but I think also part of him is like, well, there are certain things you just don't do, and we will never talk about this.
Yeah.
Next day arrives then. Do you guys want to go to the asylum?
Yeah,
I kind of
Awesome. I do.
Henrik does cocaine privately before we go.
Great, fantastic.
You arrive to the asylum.
Where you are checked in immediately for cause of insanity.
They say, you guys are fucking weird. Get in here.
As you arrive.
Oh, no.
So, the amount of research that went down into asylums of the 1800s.
Endless, I'm sure, Ellie.
Exactly. I even wrote here, nurse receptionist. I don't fucking know if there was a receptionist back then.
Ellie just wrote like everything she thought and put a question mark after. And was like, I'll come back to that. Now reading it, you're like, did not figure that one out.
Exactly, receptionist. But the person who admits people, whoever that was back in the 1800s.
What's her name, Ellie?
Nursema.
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 Nurse Nursema?
Nurse Nursema.
Or Nurse Emma?
Shut up.
Did you mean to say Emma? And
Emma.
you fucked it up?
Yes, Emma is her name.
Nurse Emma.
Nurse Emma.
We're gonna die.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she looks at you. She's a cold woman, and now she's extra cold.
For no reason.
Barely looks at you while she's working on something. I was like working on her computer, but
oh
my
god.
And then you walk up to her.
Yes. Good evening. Or afternoon. Nope, it's morning. Good morning. My name is...
Nailing it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm here investigating a few patients that have probably recently been submitted, possibly by secret
He just flatlines and looks out a window.
Magnuson. If you could let me know what patients were recently submitted and give me access to hopefully have a word with them, though I understand most were incapacitated.
What's your relation to the patient?
I'm a private detective.
Cool. Jörgen here will show you the way. And then a very skinny and long-limbed man with weird bent to his back comes out of the shadows. He's carrying a lantern. Yes, come with me.
Hi, hello,
come
Jörgen.
With me,
yeah,
and I'll show you everything
This
you
is
would
like
ever want to
young
see.
Frankenstein. What's happening?
What the fuck is going on? Why does he have a lantern? Is it dark in here?
Oh, it's super dark. Okay, let me tell you about the asylums. This is a 19th century mental health institution. It's creepy as fuck. It's not like they're helping people here, you know what I'm saying? It's basically like the dungeons, but like for
it's where you put the people that are too difficult to deal with.
Exactly. And they don't want to like they're experimenting on these people. And so he comes out from the shadow and says, come with me and I'll show you everything you would ever want to see. And then he like motions you to come with him.
Yeah, normal. Let's go. Yeah, here we go.
She, as they go through the door, she looks at him and she goes, that was really amazing. You just tell people you're a private detective and they just let you go.
Astrid, I am a private detective.
No, I know. I'm not saying... That's so funny. No. I just mean like the hubris of a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just like, this is me. This is my job. You couldn't even tell her what time of day it was, but she was like, that checks out. He's got a dong. No, she doesn't say that. Back it up.
Jesus, Astrid.
You walk into the asylum, and the corridors that you're walking through are made from stone. They're dark and hollow, and you hear distant screams from people gone mad. So a tiny little tidbit about this. A lot of people with this site, they do go insane. And so
makes sense.
So a lot of these people are probably... It's kind of similar to you.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're not going insane, as far as we know.
Debatable.
You might assume that you're kind of special. And so finally you get to the young boy. You recognize him through looking through the bars of most of the rooms. And he's just sitting on his bed, staring into a wall. Would you like to go into him? Jörgen says.
Yeah, Jörgen, if you can open up.
Of course. He's eager.
Okay.
And you're with the boy.
Okay. Henrik walks in. Do I know his name? Can I ask Jörgen?
Oh, I don't know his name. We never know names here.
Aye, lad, can you hear me?
The boy looks up. He's reacting to your words, but he doesn't seem to see you.
Okay. But I can see his face now.
Yeah.
And he looks just zonked, like out of it.
He looks less out of it than last time. Something is going on in his eyes this time.
Okay.
It's like he sees you through some sort of filter.
Henrik keeps his distance, but, gets eye level with him, kneels down a little bit. He says, I wanted to talk to you about what happened with Sigrid and the green rock and your arm.
Mother?
What about your mother?
Is that you, Mom?
I
do not like it here. I think they want to hurt me. And then he looks at Astrid. What are you? Why did you take me from my home?
I was trying to help you.
And when you say that, it looks like he's about to say something, almost leaning a bit forward as if he's willing to accept your help, or at least listen. But then his eyes flashes in this weird emerald light, and the connections seem to be lost. And now the boy is just staring into the wall again, and any attempt to reconnect fails. And for the sake of moving the game forward, let's talk a bit about what clues you have now.
So the clues we have are green rock.
Green rock make light go boom.
Green glowing rock has some sort of ability while it's glowing. And who knows about these rocks? Francibold knew about them. A woman named Abigail Johnson in the US knew about them. And Sigrid knows about them.
Yeah. They're basically transmutation stones.
What's transmutation?
Transmutation is
I'm
like
revealing by not knowing.
No, you're totally fine. So,
that's alchemy.
Transmutation is alchemy. It's like changing one thing into another.
Yeah.
So, it's not like you're polymorphing him into a frog, but you're taking something that was broken and making it whole.
And the whole thing with alchemy too is you can only make something out of something of equal or greater value. So it's like you can transmute.
That's what the Elric brothers would tell us.
Yes, exactly. I always think of Fullmetal Alchemist. So like you can't make something bigger. You can make it the same size. You can make it smaller, but like you need the same amount of something to make something else. Yeah. But anyway,
right.
And that also connects to earlier when Astrid said you can't make that energy out of nothing.
Right, and something is taken away. Clearly, like their mental stability is taken away if done on a human, and possibly on the rats as well. So like that's maybe something just like
it could be. I also think the act potentially, when we bring it to the other clue, which is that there is something that needs to be sealed or closed, and I think that these things being taken away and used is weakening whatever that is. Like that's just a gut. That could be what we call a broad sweeping assumption.
To me, I read that more as like it needs to be sealed and closed, because as long as you can take the power from it, whatever it is, the rocks, people are going to use them to do fucked up shit, like Sigrid is.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to seal off like the vault in the mine, whatever was opened up, because if Sigrid has the power, then she's going to do experiments on humans and stuff. Yeah. My question is, here's adding up all these clues. Where is the source? To me, it seems like it's probably up in the mine area, but the fact that this person in the U.S. like knew about it and was talking to France, I'm kind of like...
Well, it's very possible, it's quite possible, says Astrid during whatever this conversation is, that Abigail could have been a member of the society in some way, and she could have just traveled overseas. I mean, you were overseas in Ireland.
It could also be that he reached out to her to try to learn more himself, and maybe she gave him what information she could. Maybe she's not really a player in this, but
she could be. But is there a way to?
No, we don't have her address, I don't believe. Either way, should we get out of the asylum and continue talking about this elsewhere?
Yeah.
Jörgen is standing.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he's just staring at you.
Yeah. So I had imagined that we had left, but yeah, sure. We're definitely not staying here for this conversation. So
maybe it's safe if we do stay here. Henrik turns and he goes, "Does anyone here in this corridor know about the society?"
Everyone says, yes, I know everything, please. I'll tell you, come here, please, come here.
I go over to that person.
Yeah, I mean, they're all saying it, so...
Yeah, that's terrifying.
I go to the most fucked up looking one.
Ah, yes, I know everything. What do you want to know, sweetie?
Oh, it's a woman?
No,
it's a man.
It's a man.
Couldn't tell what voice you were doing.
It might be anything.
It could. Who knows? It's too dark. I can't see. I say, what do you know about the society?
I know that the society is somewhere where more people gather and where people have fun. Do you want to have fun?
What do you see when you see me?
Oh, I see a man. I see a very beautiful man. You want to come inside?
No. Sorry to have bothered you. Does anyone else know about the society?
And the man you reject just starts shaking his bar. You come back to me! You come back to me, boy!
Okay, I'll come back. What's up?
And then he tries to grab you.
Hey!
And I have my knuckle duster on in my pocket, and I hit his hand really hard with the knuckle duster.
Oh!
Hey!
Oh!
You don't hurt people.
I just want to get out of here.
I understand. I'm so sorry. Alright, Astrid, let's go. That was a dumb idea.
I mean...
But they start screaming now, and it's starting to feel like threatening.
Yeah.
Jörgen, we'd like to leave.
Yeah, Astrid's already backing towards the door. This is terrifying. Yeah. And it kind of like so they get in the carriage. They're on the way back, and she's still shaken. And she looks up at you, and she says, "That's the risk. We could one book read that we shouldn't. One something else happening to us that breaks us beyond what we're able to bear, and that is our fate, and it could be 1,000,000 miles away. We could never get there, or it could happen tomorrow."
Henrik is quiet, and then he reaches up towards the driver in the carriage, and he says, "Pull over." And he gets out, and he puts his arm out for you, and he goes, "Would you like to get a drink?"
"How many?"
Most likely more than one, I would think.
"Yes, please."
And Henrik they just walk to the nearest, you know, like.
Yeah, there's probably several of them.
Yeah.
I'd like to think there were several pubs in Uppsala back in 1800s.
And he just picks one where it's a little bit quiet, like, you know, they could sit down and talk inside the pub and have some drinks.
Yeah. So you guys have a couple of drinks. While you guys are having a couple of drinks, how about you award yourself a couple of experience points?
Yay! How many, Mom?
I'm gonna give you 4.
Shit.
Because even though this was not technically like a full module of a Vaesen adventure, so to speak, you guys have now seen and heard and experienced enough cool shit that I want to give you that.
Love it.
And while you're sitting there having a drink, I'm assuming the two of you are just talking about everything you know so far, but maybe you're just honestly just what is it called? Debriefing, or just like trying to get rid, depressurizing from everything that's been happening. You have all these clues now. But like, remember what I said about this is the beginning of the season, guys.
We're not gonna solve.
Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do though.
Yep.
In my talents,
Ooh.
I have elementary. So once per session, I can ask the game master to explain to me how clues are connected.
Wow, that's awesome.
So
you have to pick 2 clues and say.
No, it's just, I guess the game is at the game master's discretion.
Yeah.
But Ellie, if you would be so kind, if it helps us in any way to like move, you don't have to like tell me shit just to tell me shit, but if it helps us to like move the story forward, or give us a direction of like things that we should look into for a future session, you know, obviously we're not going to solve this mystery. This is the first, you know.
I will say this. You might want to look into Abigail Johnson.
Okay.
Yeah.
You definitely have the address to her.
Oh, okay.
And Algot would know.
Cool.
And you also won't be able to access the mine. And not like to be like, you know, with a video game of like, but it just hasn't been built yet. Basically, that part of the map hasn't been revealed to you.
Dude, have you ever seen the video that I made on Twitter about the NPC character?
Yes.
Literally that, where it's like, you can't go that way.
Yeah,
This is the GM being like, that map doesn't exist.
exactly.
It's not there.
You would probably be like, you can try to go up there if you want.
Okay, we won't.
But you're not gonna get like, there's so much military action going on up there because of the man who owns this place. Sweden has now put, like, they've realized the value of this place. So for you to get in there would be like for you to break into some sort of high security prison or high security military base. Yeah. Like, you're at least getting somewhere. You're getting the jewelry box from Francibold. You found the things that he tried to show you. And I've given you the things that you needed to know from that jewelry box. So don't worry that, you know, we didn't find anything more that we needed to know. And you can also look into a couple of these books if you want. There might be some quests in there. But a couple of weeks pass. You get sort of back into your routine. January arrives. So you have a great Christmas and New Year's.
Ooh.
And then at breakfast, a man is waiting for you. There's nothing strange about people coming to Castle Eulenkrauts since it's technically a hotel. So there's a lot of guests coming and going all the time.
I forgot it was a hotel.
Yeah, so they've seen all of your meltdowns. But both of you recognize this man. And he's the chief officer of the police station in Uppsala. And he's requesting to meet the two of you.
Do we know his name?
He is Chief Olof Sjöström.
Olof Sjöström?
Sjöström, but
Sjöström.
you can probably would know him by first name. Or you can,
Chief
it's fine.
Olof.
Olof, yeah, sure.
Olof. Chief Olof.
Or you could probably just call him Officer.
Oh, Officer.
Yeah. Right. I would request your help with something. I've heard that you're a private detective, Henrik O'Doherty. And Astrid, you are somewhat similar to Francible. I had a good relationship with Francible. Not that I need to know exactly what it is.
You have the right of it.
We've had some disturbing news from our friends in Norway. A couple of our people have been lost because they lost all communications with the island Sørland in the far north of Norway. We happen to know that there's a village up there, a trading village, and we've had good relationships with them. Then it all went quiet a couple of months back, and we sent another rescue team to see what might have happened. Unfortunately, we haven't heard back from them in over a month now, and then winter hit, and we haven't been able to reach them. We've sent messengers, but none of them can access this point with the boats. And we're now manning a new crew, but we're trying to find the right people to go on this mission. And I don't want to make any other claims, but there's something that seems to be a little bit, and he doesn't want to admit that it seems like it's supernatural because he officially can't believe that stuff.
Yeah.
But there seems to be something happening up there that I just to be sure, I would like to send all sorts of talents.
Yeah. You're just trying to help people. And you're covering all your bases. And that is what you must do if you're a man in your position.
Thank you for your understanding. We don't need to discuss that any further, of course, because he looks around him and other people might be listening. Of course, we are covering all expenses and you will be properly paid for your time. We are also worried that crimes might have been committed, and therefore you as a private detective might also be interested in joining.
I think we definitely are. I think I understand what you're saying. Who else would be on the crew, or would it just be Astrid and I?
No. So Captain Haddock has been asked to man this mission, but he shall meet you in the Norwegian town of Bergen. Bergen is, by the way, the basis for Arendelle and Frozen. It's a very pretty town.
How cool.
And there you shall also meet the rest of your crew. We will have several people waiting for you there. I do not know what other commitments you might have, but I cannot stress how important this is and how quickly we need to move. It is winter conditions after all, and we are worried for our men, but also what is going on up there.
Astrid?
When would we need to leave?
The boat leaves from Stockholm on Friday.
All right. We'll need an advance on the payment to get proper supplies. I mean, winter jackets, boots, you know.
Of course. Absolutely. Anything you need. And he gives you a large chunk of resources.
Great. Love that.
Fantastic.
You'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it.
And we're off on the boat.
God, wait, should we get resources?
We can.
I'm gonna assume. Do we buy I'm just gonna assume we buy very heavy duty coats and
I mean, that's certainly one of them.
How about this? You can decide for this during the boat ride, but we'll decide between episodes. And then,
great, I love that. So we'll assume, and then we can talk. We can let the people out there know what we chose the next time. Yeah. I love that plan.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Mostly,
I am bringing my dog.
You'd bring your dog. Yes,
Yeah.
of course. However, I did notice a little thing in the rule book about consumables. Apparently, the dog is a consumable. That's why you have like stables and things, upgrades to the house. I don't know if I'm the person who would ever kill an animal, like remove an animal from a game.
Well, you might. I mean,
I would never. But
I mean, if the dog is fighting in combat,
he might die. Of
Yeah.
course.
yeah.
No, I'm saying I'm not gonna
your
take
dog
this dog away.
disappears.
I'm not gonna
Okay.
take this dog puppy away from you.
You didn't
His
tie
name
your
is
dog
Thor.
up. It runs away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But moving forward, we have to look into the consumable rules. But
Okay.
we'll do
Yeah.
that for next.
I would consume him because he's so sweet.
You gonna eat your dog?
Oh,
No,
that's
not for
disgusting.
real. I just love him.
That's sick.
I want a dog.
All right, arm hammer.
All right, yeah. In the future now, that's going to be like so poor taste or like out of context or something. Leave it.
Yeah, we find out that he actually ate dogs. Anyway, we
Wow.
are gonna move to
The boat.
the boat, and on the boat, nothing really eventful happens between Sweden and Norway. So you arrive to the beautiful town of Bergen. It's a coastal town. Like I said, Arendelle is basically based on this
Yeah,
town.
I was
so
like, is it like Disney where we get in line for the meet and greet? And I'm like, here's my fast pass.
it's basically like mountains, and then there's this town at the bottom of it. And you meet the rest of your crew there.
Are they cool?
They are super cool. It's a doctor called Dorothea Lukkonen. I want you to look at the Vasen book for doctors. That's what she looks like.
Her last name is Lukkonen.
Lukkonen.
Lukkonen?
It's Lukonen.
These people.
It's Finnish. And then you
Season 3, Anne hates Finland.
and then you have Lieutenant Harald Lidan, who's
Lieutenant Dan.
Lidan.
Wow.
Leiden.
Lidan.
Lidan.
Lieutenant Lidan.
And then Reverend Marcus von Sydow. Maybe he's related to Max. I don't know. Probably not.
And Reverend Marco said, what's his last name?
Marcus
Monsino.
No.
Montessori.
John Cena.
Johnson.
And Reverend John Cena. John Cena.
I'm name blind. I'm so sorry.
It's fine. I mean,
Montessoro? Monsino.
von Sydow, like Max von Sydow.
Fonzito.
Foncito.
The Fonz.
The Fonz.
And
Got it.
we are so
Lieutenant down.
And
I'm not in Kansas anymore.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Reverend
We're never gonna get these names.
Yeah.
close. Yeah, so you have, and then a bunch of like petty officers and
And then a bunch of nameless peons.
A bunch of
who you don't
seamen.
care
A
if
bunch of
they-
seamen, and they're all gonna die on the boat.
exactly. And I'm not gonna name all of them for Anne to be like, how do you spell this name?
I'm always nervous because I never know if a GM or a DM is going to say, well, I don't know what their name was. Didn't you write it down?
Or the character is gonna be like, you don't even know my name, and then I'm like, fuck, I
You're
don't
like,
know
my
their name.
character knows your name. I'm stupid. I have a year of notes in my
Yes.
notebook. What do you want?
I can guarantee you this. I am not one of those GMs because I don't remember anything. And then Captain Haddock, of course, who is based on a Belgian comic book called Tintin.
Yeah, I've read Tintin.
Yeah. He has like that beard and
Yeah.
I love that.
that beard. That's all I'm gonna say about it. The seaman.
I just want to say
beard.
we definitely introduce ourselves to everyone like very politely and formally. We're you know.
Yeah, and they're all excited. Dr. Dorothea is a woman as well, but I mean she looks more intimidating than anyone you've ever seen. And the rest of them seem to be good chumps.
All right, some good chumps on this ship.
Yeah.
Henrik goes, "Aye, good chumps."
You seem
Did
like
you
a
mean
good
chums?
Huh?
I did mean chumps.
Okay.
Nope, Ellie said chumps, and I'm also saying a bunch of chumps.
Could I maybe roll an observation
Yeah,
to get a vibe check
yeah.
on the crew and sort of their behavior?
Yeah, I think Henrik is doing the same thing, except he's going in with the intention of seeing like what their intention is. Like, why would they sign on to this project? Are they
Yeah.
doing it for the same reason we like? Does anybody have the site? Does anybody, just feeling out vibes?
They don't seem to have the site.
Okay.
I mean, they seem to mostly be doing it out of duty, money duty, but also the lieutenant knew the people the other rescue mission. So to him it's more like close to heart. Whereas the doctor is more like the ship's doctor, so she knows Captain Haddock, so she's on his sort of team. And the military people are more on the rescue mission that was sent earlier. I received
1 success for my vibe check.
Yeah, is anybody like not vibing?
Yeah.
No. They all seem to be decent people.
Be vibing.
I think we are the odd ones out on this ship.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, how we're like, someone has to be the villain,
the
of the
weirdo.
Piece.
Yeah, you open a door. You open a door, and they're all sitting and like quiet down as you enter, and like you knew that they were talking about you. No. They seemed like an interesting bunch of people. The doctor definitely is no bullshit kind of woman, but the lieutenant. And is like more like a military man, and then the priest or the pastor or the reverend, he does not strike you to be like Bruselius.
Like great.
He seems to be a lot more chill, and a little bit more open. Like so, if he finds out that you have leanings to other things, he probably would be more like curious and philosophical about it. And these people are basically NPCs, but they have similar talents to these archetypes from the book.
Gotcha.
You can use them in battles and things like that.
Okay, great. Not that we'll need them.
Exactly. I don't think you will get into a combat. Why would you get into a combat?
Reaches for initiative
cards.
Anyway, so as you leave Bergen, and you might be able to come back here later. Don't worry, unless you die.
I really wanted the meet and greet.
The line was too long, Astrid.
Damn it.
We had to get on the ship.
I want ice cream.
Next time, Astrid. Why are you like my child all of a sudden?
Because I'm in Disney World. This is the closest I'm going to get for a very long time.
I've never been to Disney World.
Oh my God, we should go.
Or Land. Never been to Disney.
Me neither.
You know what?
Maybe one day, Ellie.
It's like a whole other conversation. I've literally only been once as an adult. Twice. But you know what? This is not Vassen.
This is not Vassen. This is
the furthest thing.
I'm cutting myself off.
All right.
So as you leave Bergen, you set sail for the steam engine. I feel like it's a mix of both. I don't know anything about boats. Shut up. You go up and you follow along.
And all of that was wrong. But it's fine.
Anyway, you follow the beautiful coastline of Norway. And I don't know if you know this about Norway. It's the most beautiful coastline you can ever see. It's fjords everywhere. And I'm not talking about the horse. Sydney,
call back. Yeah.
It almost feels like a vacation initially because it's the boat has very nice food. You can watch these beautiful peaks flowing by, and you're having a good time with this new crew of people, and you're just hanging out. And Henrik, you have nightmares still, but they don't seem to be as common and as weird as they are in Uppsala.
That's nice, because they're quite bad in Uppsala.
Yeah, and that is also something you've noticed. Uppsala seems to be a weird place where you get very specific nightmares, but we'll talk about that some other time. But as you get further and further north, it gets darker and darker, and Captain Haddock then one day says, "Arr!"
He's a pirate.
I love how I was like, I need to stop derailing Ellie and let her paint the picture. Yeah. And then you're like, just derailing yourself into piracy.
He says, "Well, I say goodbye to that sun. You're not going to see her for a couple of weeks." And you see the sun go down for the last time in a while because we're far fucking north now. And the sun won't be back. So you're just seeing basically on the horizon this constant sunset between 12 and 3 p.m.
That's crazy.
The rest of the time is dark.
That's so cool.
That is so cool. Also
it is
wild.
It is wild, and instead you see northern lights. Yeah. Like you see other beautiful things.
Oh my God.
I wish.
The weather changes and things are getting a lot colder. I mean, it's already really freaking cold, but it gets colder and colder and colder. And then there's this mist that starts surrounding your boat, and everything's getting a lot quieter as you're gliding further and further. Ice is starting to bump into your boat, but it doesn't really bother you as much, so you seem to have a clear path until you reach this island. And it's covered in snow, and since it's so bright, the snow, and the stars are so bright, and you've like gotten used to the darkness by now, you can kind of see it pretty clearly. but no one greets you there. It seems to be completely abandoned. And you can see that there's a couple of houses in this village. What do you want to do?
Houses are dark, I'm assuming. No lights. Nobody's
no
got
lights,
fires.
Nothing. There seems to be nothing going on. And Captain Haddock sets anchor. Your crew, the 5 of you, plus a couple of unnamed soldiers.
I'm sure they're going to come back to fucking
You guys
bite
go
us in the
first.
ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to send out the unnamed soldiers because I think they're a main character in the story.
Exactly. You enter the island. You board the island, so to speak. And,
I think Henrik might suggest, unless nobody else is like making the move, but he might suggest to like the lieutenant, what do you think about making our way towards those houses in the distance? Whether we find folk or not, we could set up inside, set up a fire, keep warm.
Yes, search for any survivors or any life.
Aye.
So you get to a couple. There seems to be a main street, and then there's 5 or 6 houses that you can see right now. Yeah, go ahead and pick one.
I guess the first one, Henrik will like knock on the door. I'm assuming we're just gonna check every location. So knock on the door.
It opens.
Oh.
But no one is opening it for you, so it's not locked. And you get in, and then the lieutenant says, how about 2 of you go to that room? And then he points to the doctor and the reverend. How about the 2 of you go into that room? And then he asks the 2 soldiers to keep a watch.
Yeah, good idea.
And so, you enter what looks like a bedroom. It's dark. It's very, very dark in there. Even though there's some moonlight coming in from the window.
Do we have lamps? Like, did we bring like...
Yeah,
okay.
have lamps.
Can we do like a observation or...
Sure.
Yeah, investigation, observation?
I would say for this observation.
That's gonna be a nothing.
Nothing.
Do you want to observe anything?
I'm gonna try.
I'm gonna do investigation as well.
Sure. Otherwise, it would be a long night.
1 success.
I can't believe it. It was so many guys.
I know. Sucks.
1 success.
Both of you see some movement in the corner of your eyes. And what you see is a woman. Her eyes are so hollow, and she's holding a child who seems to be sleeping, and she's covered in this fur coat, and she seems to be like steps away from freezing to death. She looks like she hasn't eaten in days, and her eyes are haunted with fear.
Is the kid dead?
She doesn't like it. You can hear it making small little sounds.
Henrik,
Please don't tell anyone we're here, please.
Oh. Henrik takes like a blanket off the bed, and moves toward her, and he goes, "We're not going to tell anyone. Are you all right? Are you cold?"
We did everything we thought was right, everything to please her, but she punished us all, and now they're all gone.
Who punished you?
She did. Please, sir, we're so hungry. Do you have any food?
Henrik reaches into his pack and pulls out, like nuts or whatever they had on the ship, and he gives her like a bag of it.
Yeah. Astrid, Henrik, is everything all right? The lieutenant comes in.
Yeah. I look between the 2. Is the woman still there?
She is not.
I knew it.
Where are the nuts? What happened to the nuts, Ellie?
You're holding them in your hand.
Yeah.
Is everything all right? I heard you talking to someone, the lieutenant says.
She says, "Oh, we were just having a look around, talking to each other."
Oh, for heaven's sake, someone shouts from the other room.
I run over.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone, including the lieutenant now, is surrounding what looks like a chest. And the other men and Dorothea, they've taken their hats off and they're just staring into the chest. And what you see there is the corpse of a young woman holding her baby. And that's the end of the episode.
Oh, yeah! The mystery thickens. The plot thickens.
Oh, yeah, another ghost trick.
If you make me have sex with this ghost, I'm gonna freak out.
Okay.